was a situation that took place here in Nigeria 48 hours or more ago. Unfortunately, or would I say, well, fortunately or unfortunately, we couldn't take that on our wake-up conversations yesterday because there was none. It was a special broadcast. And it had to do with former governor of Edo State, one who's known to talk tough, especially at the National Assembly. It shows a video of him, many have said allegedly, accusing and also doing more to staff of a particular airline. It's basically airpiece, and it's a former governor, call him Senator Oshiomhole, especially being called out for an unruly behaviour at the Lagos airport, therefore causing a lot of drama. Let's take a look at the video first.
So, the allegations of what has happened between Airpeace, so it's really Airpeace versus Senator Adams Oshiomhole, and they've both given different sides of the story. Airpeace has called out Senator Adams Oshiomhole for coming late to the airport and trying to stop the 6:30 flight from going because he's late. And because they refused to stop the flight for him, that he made an issue out of it. This is the press release they put out. They said Airpeace strongly condemns the unruly conduct of a prominent Nigerian politician, his name wasn't mentioned, who disrupted airport operations on the morning of Wednesday, June 11, 2025. The prominent individual in question arrived at Murtala Mohammed Airport Terminal 1 Zulu Hall at approximately 6:10 a.m. for flight Peace 47120, scheduled to depart Lagos for Abuja at 6:30 a.m. in line with our standard on-time departure policy. The boarding process had closed and the flight departed as scheduled. Upon being informed of the missed flight, the politician resorted to violence, physically assaulting our staff and forcefully barricading the terminal's entrance. He went as far as sealing the entry gate and manning the access point, effectively obstructing other passengers from gaining entry into the terminal. This unacceptable behavior caused significant disruption to ongoing operations and affected numerous travelers scheduled for various flights. It's a two-page document, and they just basically, in the second one, say that they stand for peace, discipline, integrity, and they urge guests to remain civil and cooperative at all times. Now, Senator Adams Oshiomhole reacted to this as well. So I believe we have Senator Adams Oshiomole's reaction. Of course.
Yeah, I mean, while we try to get that video, he did react. He downplayed this statement made by Airpeace and then went ahead to give his own side of the story. But hopefully, before we get that footage, the bottom line is if we're to weigh everything from back to back, many have said, or, you know, reactions have come out from what every single person on ground had seen. And the reaction simply is, could this have been an abuse of power? Because the clarity in terms of the entire story is that the plane was scheduled to leave at a certain time. And let's be honest, we know that many of us have had issues with Airpeace in terms of leaving on time. Sometimes there is a reschedule, there's postponement of flights, and that gets people a bit worried. But in this case, they said it was time, and they left on time. But I guess he missed his flight, that's what the story is saying, and even those on ground also agreed to that it seems like he missed his flight. But on doing that, he felt, oh, listen, I need to ground any further operations until I'm able to leave. But this has also been denied by Senator Oshiomhole.
Senator Oshiomhole has also made certain allegations. He's claimed that Airpeace staff were extorting passengers. He claimed that they had an overbooked flight, and which is what Airpeace had come out to debunk. There was another message they put out there. They said, our attention has been drawn to the deliberate falsehood being peddled by Senator Adams Oshiomhole against Airpeace. The senator lied blatantly when he accused Airpeace of extorting its passengers. we challenged Senator Oshiomhole to bring one evidence of a passenger that was extorted. None of our staff was ever extorted any passenger. In fact, no ticket was sold after the closure of check-in on that flight. Everyone who flew bought their ticket prior to the flight closure. Again, our flight was never overbooked, as some of his videos alleged. In fact, the aircraft took off with over 30 empty seats. It would have been in our interest to carry Oshiomhole and those others who missed their flights for lateness on this flight, instead of flying many empty seats. But we will never sacrifice our strict on-time performance for monetary gains. It's absolutely false that he was also offered preferential treatment and that he was fighting for others. I really wish we could play his video so we can hear his own side. Senator Oshiomhole was not fighting for anyone, the press release says. He came to the airport late and was told that he was late. He then began to foment trouble. He jumped on the baggage conveyor belt, preventing the check-in process of other flights. He also barricaded the entrance gate and prevented access to the terminal. While he was doing all this, he also deliberately instigated other passengers against the airline. We call on the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria to release the CCTV footage coverage starting from the time Senator Oshiomhole entered the airport for Nigerians to see. His accusation of extortion is very defamatory. His conduct was very violent, unbecoming, unfortunate, and above all, shameful. So, this is really it's like a case of two fighting, as we say here in Nigeria. They have, I think, what will settle this matter true. Federal Airport Authority.
Do you think they will release the video?
They should release the CCTV.
Do you think they will
They
release
should.
the video?
Not do I think.
Do you think they will?
I don't know. I don't know what I think.
This is where
I doubt that they will, to be honest. So they don't stoke the fire of what is happening.
We can't be the judge and the jury here, and I like what is going on. What we've done is, at least in clear terms of explaining what happened, we've been able to talk about both sides. This is what happened from Adams Oshiomhole, and this is what happened from Airpeace. Airpeace, surprisingly, had done 2 statement releases. That's fine. But I think to settle this, Olive, FAN just needs to put out the video.
I don't think
That's all.
I don't know that they will, because it might be stoking the fires of the current situation.
But what would sort this issue is if the true clip or the true footage is put out there, so that Nigerians will see for themselves and say, oh, okay, this is what happened. Or better still, what we would see at the end, let me predict. It will be a closed door settlement at the end of the day. Where I'm sure if they play the video and they have the Airpeace rep, or better still, the boss seated, and the Senator Oshiomhole seated, and the video shows that the fault may have come from Senator Oshiomhole's side or either side, better still, they just have to shake hands and move on. But we must not neglect the fact that nobody has the power. Nobody has the power to carry out such act. And why do I say so? We've seen senators, in quotes, in the UK who use public transport, trains, and all that, but we've never seen them go all out and so on. And surprisingly, Senator Adams Oshiomhole understands the law very well. So all he needed to do was just ensure, okay, you guys, if they did anything wrong to him, okay, that's fine. You take it and then you sue. But again, let's not forget that Senator Adams Oshiomhole, Aluta, is still the body, whether you like it or not. So in as much as he was trying to control, I can imagine him trying to come. He said, no, come on. I fought for these things now. Come on, okay.
Nigerians, of course, have taken to social media to air their thoughts about this, so let's take a few reactions to what happened at the airport. Our first tweet next is from Admax. It says, 2 statements can be true. Oshiomhole arrived at the airport late, and Airpeace staff or conniving touts sold last-minute tickets. Airpeace talking about strict on-time performance is laughable. Airpeace don't have the reputation of their flights leaving on time. Admax. Dewdrop says, the government needs to withdraw Airpeace's license. Igbos can't run any business that is more than a shop where you sell little fake things to people. They are extremely incompetent. Who is this person?
I don't agree with this person.
Who is this person?
And it's quite a lengthy one.
Let me finish reading. I want to believe that it's sarcasm. They are extremely incompetent and disorganized. I'm sure you guys have heard that Adams Oshiomhole disrupted services at the terminal. That was what Airpeace said, and Igbos are spreading. Turned out Airpeace's ticket cost 150-something thousand naira online, But when people got to the airport to board the plane, they denied the people who bought the tickets online and came with their boarding passes and were selling out the same tickets for 250,000 to people without reservation who just came to the airport. When someone saw it was Oshiomhole, he now told the rest, and they quickly went to call the manager, who now wanted to put Oshiomhole on the flight. But Comrade Oshiomhole said he didn't need personal favors. He said you can't be scamming people and treat clients badly. He reported to the Minister of Aviation, Festus Keyamo, immediately, and the DSS boss at the airport. At FKMO, please make sure Airpeace's license gets withdrawn ASAP. Their services are crap, and the treat clients really reported cases of tribalism and incompetence and now outright fraud. Ground Airpeace and find them heavily now. Before we take the other tweets, just to respond to what that lady said, Dewdrop, I want to quickly respond to that. You can disagree with how a business is run. You can disagree with a business model, but what is not right is to then generalize and tribalize. You know, in a world, in a country where we're struggling with the effects of tribalism, we saw how greatly divided we were along ethnic and religious lines during the last elections. Please, let's put up that tweet again. Like the first two lines really just, they just threw me off.
Zero.
How do you say the government needs to withdraw Airpeace's license? I mean, that's your opinion. You're well within your rights to say that. Then you go on to say, Igbos can't run any business that is more than a shop where you sell little fake things to people. They are extremely incompetent and organized. You drop Oyin Atibode needs, you know, these are the kind of people, when we talked about
cleansing,
people that are fostering division along ethnic lines. You can state your point without having to say that that was terrible, that was done in bad taste, and, you know, that is definitely a tweet that should not be up. It's done in bad taste. And
I'm happy we brought it up so that we can address it.
It's done in bad taste. It's really done in bad taste. We can't, Igbos are as much Nigerians as any other tribe, as the Yorubas, as the Hausas, as the Galas. Igbos are as much Nigerians as any of these people. That was a very terrible, disrespectful tweet to Igbo people and should be brought down. Let's take a few more tweets regarding the subject matter. Mezi Abia says, Oshiomhole can shut down an airport because he lost his flight, but can't shut down the National Assembly where they're receiving exorbitant allowances while Nigerians screwed. Oshiomhole cannot shut down Nassau Rock where the murder of all ceilings on earth is happening every day, every passing day. One thing you have to remark about the criminal politicians in Nigeria is they cannot take 1% of what they dish out to Nigerians every day. And we have other tweets. Oshiomhole can lie for Africa. If Nigeria was a working country, the airport security would have arrested him. He wouldn't try this rubbish even in a neighboring West African country, let alone in Europe. His name would have been sorry. Watch how the APC government will cover it up. Another tweet. Okay, I think that's all that we can
pretty
take
much.
for now.
We still have more, but because of time, we'll not be able to go through all the tweets. But then again, like I said, the only way we can put this coincidence, this fracas, what would you call it again, imbroglio, all the English you want to bring together, is to ensure that there's just a way to settle it. Possibly, like I've said, it will be settled behind closed doors, but it will not do justice to the viewing eyes, to the Nigerians who have a say on the story. I also foresee that the Minister of Aviation, Festus Keyamo, will possibly come out and speak, and I also would like to implore him to possibly have a press conference on this. Why would you have a press conference? It is because you need to sanitize the situation of things. Guess what? If a sitting senator has done this, then it has given credence to every other person to do the same. We've seen, forgive me to use the word ordinary. Most times I don't like using that word ordinary Nigerians because I believe we're all Nigerians. You just have a service to offer, to give to other Nigerians. So you're not more bigger than every other Nigerian.
No Nigerian is more Nigerian
than Nigeria itself. So therefore, because you are a senator, whether you like it or not, first, you are a Nigerian. And you are there because you are there to serve. But we know what happens when what we've seen, when people get there, they forget that they are there to serve, but rather they are there to, anyway, let's move on.
I would say that there needs to be proper investigation. There are two claims. Airpeace has their claim. Senator Adams Oshiomhole has their claim. Exactly. A video will really solve a lot of this. But I would say that if Airpeace is at fault, if truly they were selling last-minute tickets and there was duplicity of ticket sales, I hope that is investigated, exposed, uncovered, and punished, because that is not legal, right? It's taking advantage of Nigerians, extorting and exploiting Nigerians. If truly they were going to give him preferential treatment in all of this, I hope that is investigated. If also Senator Adams Oshiomhole got there late and tried to make a scene out of this, that should also be investigated, and that is even, it should attract the penalty of saying you're not allowed to fly this airline for another couple of months or whatever. There should be some measure of punishment, because when people act out on airlines, we hear stories in the West where they will say this person has been banned from flying to so and so airline.
What country are we in again?
That's what I'm saying, that we need to put punitive measures, right, to ensure that certain things like this don't happen. All I'm saying is investigation needs to be carried out. Whoever is at fault needs to be punished. And if we find out that at the end of the day, if we find out that Senator Adams Oshiomhole lied and defamed Airpeace, it is hoped that Airpeace will go to court and sue. And if we find out that Airpeace was the one that defamed Senator Adams Oshiomhole, then Senator Adams Oshiomhole should go to the court and sue.
What I'm saying, the damages will be huge.
Sorry?
It's going to be huge.
Oh, yes. What I'm saying is that at the end of the day, we need either way, both this situation will correct something. Either to teach Nigerians that you're not more important than any other person, or to teach Nigerians as well that we do not entertain bribery, fraud, or any form of preferential treatment, because both their arguments, there's no smoke without fire. One of the arguments is true. We just don't know which.
I like the way you said it. And bottom line for me, with what we've seen here, is it also teaches service, the importance of service. Service in terms of, from the senator's side, you are there to serve the people. In quotes, you'll be held accountable on how you disseminate, how you share, how you put this service out there to people. So everybody is watching. On the side of Airpeace, it will also be clear if your service is actually what you have actually talked about. Like we've seen in the press releases, that we're always on time. We're always doing this. So it's going to be clear when this investigation takes place.
Your claim will be put on a scale. For example, if you say you're on time, reputation,
and it should help
Nigerians will respond to that and say, are you really being on time? There's going to be a scale to weigh the weight of the allegations.
Definitely there will.
Okay, I think it's time for us to touch briefly on the president's speech yesterday. Very interesting points were highlighted. You know, he's going to make certain areas sexy. Was that? Okay, no, they made a lot of
AI.
Yeah.
But I know if we have videos of the presidential.
I thought it was cool. He's trying to connect to the Gen Zs and trying to connect with,
And then the reactions got me laughing my heart out.
Because I didn't watch it live, right? So
let's see if we have clips of some of the things.
No, but the one, I think it was about the chaos in the PDP. He's put to rest the argument about one-party state, and everybody's saying that there's going to be a one-party state. But there was something he said about the opposition. I don't know. I believe that's the clip we have. Let's take a look at it.
A one-party state is not in the oven, nor should it ever be. That said, we would be guilty of political malpractice if we close our door on those from other parties who now seek to join the APC. I sincerely welcome our party's newest members from Delta and Akwa Ibom states, led by Governor Sheriff Obowe and Pastor Moeno and other national members of this respected National Assembly. You are all welcome to the progressive fold. Nobody should close the door. Political parties fearful of members leaving may be better served by examining their internal processes and affairs rather than fearfully conjuring up demons that do not exist. For me, I would not say try your best to put your house in order. I will not help you to do so either. It is indeed a pleasure to witness you in such a disarray. We are making agriculture more sexy by providing tractors. And I ask you, the legislature, to join me as we enter the second half of our term to put forth innovative legislation that further encourages industrial development and job creation in our urban centers, while also drafting laws that improve.
First of all, I
can't even lie.
I must say this. I enjoyed that speech.
I can't even lie.
I enjoyed it.
If you see truth, maybe they talk.
Make we talk.
I can't
enjoyed
even
the
lie.
speech. And I like the fact that one thing that I like, I mean, if you are also one who speaks regularly, and then you've seen global speakers, especially presidents, you would notice one thing about this speech. It was personalized. And that's it. That's what I liked about it. But then again, another thing that got me cracking, like we were laughing here, was that he he talked about the opposition party, and
he said, for me, I would not say try your best to put your house in order. I will not help you do so.
Exactly.
It is indeed a pleasure to witness you in such disarray. Wow.
And that should lay to rest, even though he's saying that he would not support a one-party state, because everyone has said that he's a Democrat himself. And that should lay to rest all these speculations of, PDP, you know, NMPP, LP. The president now has come out in clear view or eyes of everyone and say, listen, fix your house. If you fix your house, do what you have to do. So nobody should come out and say, hey, the president is the one trying to put molds. And then he also made it clear that if they want to leave your party and come to our party, we will welcome them. After all, it's not going to be politics or democracy if we don't welcome them. But
we'll be talking about it deeper, you know.
Yeah, we'll talk about it deeper. And then the sexy agriculture speech.
We're making agriculture sexy,
you know,
again.
I don't know if we have one tweet before we go from the reaction
Let's
of
take
that
one or
sexy
two
agriculture.
reactions. Sexy agriculture, sexy tractors, you know. Love it.
Oh my goodness. Sexy agriculture, sexy. I mean, anyway, that's all. Let's wrap it up. Thank you so much. Nigeria is the first country to have a sexy agricultural system.
So just to tell you,
look at this.
if you Google no more BBL and body enhancement, sexy food to the rescue, came on. Now, if you Google the dictionary definition of sexy, the first definition is sexually attractive or exciting. However, the informal definition of sexy is very exciting or appealing. So what he's saying is he's going to make agriculture very exciting or appealing. He just chose a very interesting language to catch your attention, because he knows that you people like to, you like certain words, certain buzzwords will make you do a double take. So yeah, that's exactly what happened.
So like sexy corn, sexy vegetables.
Yeah.
Sexy carrots.
Haven't you looked at food? I'm like, man, this food is sexy.
Guys, let's bring you the top stories for today.
Yeah, top stories.
It's the sexy top stories. Sexy top stories. Sexy headlines.
Please, I'm not there when
you just read something now that it means very exciting.
Okay.
Exciting headlines.
All right, let's
today
take
on
the top
Breakfast
story.
on a Friday. You know, sexy at that. All right, that's what we're going to look at.
Okay. I should probably also check on YouTube, because we're streaming live on YouTube. To mention that you can stream with us and drop your comments on YouTube at News Center.
No, drop your sexy comments.
What's your own? Are we going to do show today?
No, you understand?
Okay, all right.
Let's
look at the sexy top stories.
Yeah. Today on Breakfast Central, President Tinubu addresses joint National Assembly. We'll go further and look at some of the points that we can take from that speech. President Tinubu speaks on one-party state, denying that it's not going to happen, tells them fix your house, but he enjoys the disunity, by the way. Environmental safety in Niger Delta, we'll look at it from 1999. And youth groups walk in support of President. There's a deeper story into this about them not collecting money, and a little fight erupted. Find out more. Plus, you can join us on the front pages, all here on Breakfast Central. Stay with us.